What's up, y'all? I'm Blair.
Oh. How you feeling? I'm Brandon, also known as the Bay. What's going on? Welcome to the Tuesday night party at the Savage Chat series, y'all. How you feeling?
How y'all
As y'all
feeling?
can tell, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I mean,
that is the understatement of this moment.
So first of all,
I'm just saying.
We started the Savage Chat series to create fellowship
and celebrate the culture.
Icons
of the culture.
We have had the opportunity to sit down with Ernest Owens and Michelin Valentine,
who are in the building.
Two savages of the culture.
Sub vets.
Earlier today, we sat down with Shep Kelly.
Yes.
And then we sat down with
DeAndre Upshaw.
And now we are sitting down with a savage of the culture.
Could you be a little bit more subtle and grab a bottle of water?
No, I don't need to be more subtle because
no, I didn't say you. I didn't say you didn't.
Let the guests in and get the party going.
The party, you've gotten the party going. Let's go. I got the water. I'm gonna.
You do one thing. I'm gonna get the party going. Hey, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Well, listen.
Hi. How you guys doing?
We're fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen,
boys and girls, twinning. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome. We are honored, excited,
blessed,
overjoyed to be joined by the iconic, the legendary, the savage, Rodney Chester is in the building, people. Listen.
Yes.
Listen.
Hi.
So when we started this series, we started it as a way to inject some joy into the culture, to celebrate the culture, and to sit down and capture the stories and lessons of those who have been, who have pushed savages of the culture, who have pushed the culture forward, who have inspired the culture.
Okay.
And, sir, you are prime real estate. You are boardwalk.
Hello.
Boardwalk,
sir.
Boardwalk.
You are boardwalk in that vein, and so we are honored to have you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Us to share in this moment with us, and so y'all,
take a second, y'all. Take all this melanin.
Take a second in, because I need to take I'm gonna need a second. I'm gonna need a second in a minute.
Baby, take a second. Take a second while I ask Rodney. Okay. How many licks, y'all?
Does it take till to get to the center of a stick?
Hello. Please tell us how many licks ended up on the Savage Chat playlist today. Does that song have any special significance to you?
Listen, I remember I had a birthday party. That was one of my favorite songs years ago when I was dancing, and we danced that song at my party.
Yes.
And ever since then, that we killed it, and I will never forget it. It was a great day. But first, let me just say this to you guys. First of all, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And we've been trying to get this together for a while, so thank you guys for being patient with me. But I want to commend you guys on, because the way we came in contact was when we started doing the Noah's Ark Chronicles.
Yes.
And I just appreciate you guys' work and what you're doing. And you came aboard in the beginning as a sponsor with us to work with us throughout this process. So I appreciate you guys, and you guys deserve that, because you guys work very hard, and it's greatly appreciated. And I follow you guys, of course, on social media and all the work that you guys do. My t-shirt. Thank you, by the way, for my swag.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
but I appreciate you guys.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to us. We are as young, black gay boys. Well, I used to be young.
I'm still a young black gay boy.
We grew up in a way on Noah's Ark and inspired by seeing
Right.
the representation that we had not seen of ourselves.
Right.
I have a very personal Noah's Ark story that we'll get to later, but we are honored and we're honored and blessed to be a part of that, to be a part of to just be a part.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that more about that later. But just to be a part, we are honored. So let's jump in. Let's find out how in the midst of all of this, how are you maintaining this melanin beautiful glow in the midst of all of that is going on around us? How have you been doing it? How are you maintaining? What can we learn?
I say, not pressing religion on anybody, but God is good. And I just know me personally, we dealing with this situation with the pandemic and all of that, and everyone throughout the whole world is trying to make do and make things happen and do what you need to do. Yeah. I've just been blessed for things to come my way and work out in my favor. So I'm trying to keep it all together.
Yes.
So you are doing a fabulous job of keeping it all together. I mean, we said, we got the honor of connecting with you during the quarantine through the Noah's Ark reunion.
Yeah.
And it was just an absolute honor for us. I mean, we know how important representation is in media. Right. And like Blair said, as two young Black gay boys, finding ourselves seeing your character, seeing Daryl Stevens' character and Christian Vincent and Doug Spearman and Justin Atwood, like the characters and the story that you all created and put together with Patrick Ian Polk was, incredible. Yeah. It was groundbreaking then. It is still groundbreaking to this day. And we are just so honored that, we were able to kind of be a part of the revival.
Yes. Right.
So, we know that you have been entertaining and slaying stages long before Noah's Ark. So, can you tell us, take us back. Like, did you always see yourself as an entertainer, as, you said as a dancer,
right.
Have you always been performing, just as a way of life?
For me, a lot of people know, some people don't know, but I started my career as a performer, as a dancer, a technical dancer. I did ballet, tap, jazz, and modern, all types of dance. And I had a very extensive dance background before I even started the acting. So I think I come from a small town of Cocoa, Florida. And when I stepped out of that box after high school and moved in, went to college and all this stuff like that. So I was able to get out and find myself and find my career and do what I need to do. And that led me into, dancing all over the world and touring all over the world. I did theater and everything. So I have a long dance background. So I think that I always wanted to be in the limelight, on stage, because it was something that my parents didn't force me into, didn't pay for classes. I started actually taking classes at the gym, at the gymnasium, and then that kind of led me to really getting into dance and learning ballet and all that stuff from the beginning of my career.
When did you know, or what was the moment or the transition like from being on stage dancing, but knowing now I need to be in front of the camera telling stories and acting out stories?
Well, I give all that to Patrick Ian Polk because I did his first film, which was Punks. Have you guys ever seen that?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Well, I was in Punks as a dancer. I played one of the sisters, the drag sisters, and that's what led Patrick and I to being friends.
Wow.
So we struck up a friendship and maintained a friendship, and then one day he said, "Hey, I'm writing a show, and I wrote a part for you." So I was okay with that, but I knew that I had never acted in a series or a show. I did a lot of theater, so I did have a theater background. But that was my first time doing a show, and he was like, "Oh, you'll be fine." So he wrote that role for me.
Well,
Actually,
yeah. Well,
I mean,
that was
here's
the
the
only.
thing.
you
Clearly, that is clearly, you could work backwards from that role and see
right
that it was meant.
Right.
I mean, it was absolutely written for you.
He did. He wrote that for
Yeah.
me, and actually, me and him worked together on. Well, he did all the casting, but I kind of helped him with the auditions because a lot of people may not know this, but Daryl and Christian's roles were reversed
really
in the beginning
wow.
because I
Dang,
read
dang.
with both of them, and Daryl was Ricky, and Rick and Christian was
Was
Noah in the
Noah.
beginning, and then Patrick made that,
Interesting.
yeah, and Patrick made that that change throughout
Wow.
mid. I think they had auditioned. He was interested in both of them, I believe, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken, and then he switched them around. So I think it worked out,
Yeah,
the
no,
best.
it worked
Absolutely.
Because
out
now,
perfectly.
well, now I'm looking at it like I could not see
No, you
Christian
Right. I
playing
can't
couldn't
Noah.
imagine.
imagine
No.
You know,
Ricky as Noah and Noah as Ricky.
right?
That
Not
just
even imagine. It wouldn't even.
huh?
It doesn't even make
A lot of
sense.
a lot of a lot of people don't know that. But I mean, I think
Wow.
that was a part of the casting process
Yeah.
because I was in on a lot of the casting with Patrick.
Yeah.
Helping him read with people and different things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that is
Wow.
Hmm.
incredible.
Yeah.
As you said to me, your character Alex was a whole savage. But one of the things I think is, especially as a black gay man who was HIV positive, Alex was also a whole out on the in the ground, like boots on the ground, push the community, helping save lives in the
Advocacy.
community,
Yeah.
advocating for the health of our community. And I think that
Right.
is so important that we talk
Right.
about and celebrate the savagery and the importance of that character and
Yes.
what you stood for and just black love too. I mean, we
Yes.
didn't
Well,
have another black married or black
right.
couple on screen.
Excuse me. Well, actually, again, another story. When we first started the show, when it was in its conception, Patrick didn't really know what I was going to do or whatever. Because at first, I think he wanted me to be a dance teacher, like Debbie Allen with the stick, and I was thinking to
Mm-hmm.
myself, I don't know if I wanted to do that because I knew it would have to be a really broad thing, having dancers and pulling them in
Right.
all the time.
Right.
So he came up with HIV and AIDS counselor because
Oh.
the Black AIDS Institute was a huge support
Sponsor.
of Noah's Ark from the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
even like I can say now, Phil, who was in charge of Black AIDS Institute, we shot a lot of stuff at his house, at his personal home.
Wow.
The pilot and stuff, we shot a lot of that at
Oh,
his house.
wow.
So, and I think that's Patrick wanted to bring that element in. So it was a great, choice. That's the brilliance of Patrick. Patrick really
Right.
is a brilliant storyteller.
Yeah.
He really is.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I gotta say, Noah's Ark really, it not only, and this is why telling that story is so important, was so important.
Hmm.
It really changed people's lives, not only in through representation that allowed us to see ourselves, but in representation that allowed people who loved us to see us.
Right.
People who didn't understand what we were experiencing.
Right.
Those storylines allowed people in our families and our communities who didn't understand completely what we meant when we were telling them what we were dealing with or who we loved. It helped them to understand better how we
Right.
were, what we were dealing with. My aunt, who is likely in the room somewhere because she watches.
Hey,
Yes.
hey, Auntie. I see a
She's
lot of people
always
there.
here.
Hey,
Yes,
Auntie.
Tabor.
Hey,
And
Ma.
if you have questions, please feel
Please
free to
put
them in the
put
comments.
them in the
Yeah,
comments.
Yeah.
We'll definitely
Well,
take them.
I'll say this in
Yeah.
all honesty. The beauty of Noah's Ark, in all honesty, we didn't know what the magnet. We knew that it was the first. It had never been done. But when you're doing something, you're in the work. We just wanted to do great work. Even though we got flack from people. People always gonna have opinions or whatever. But
Mm-hmm.
the majority was always great. But we didn't know the magnitude of what it would
Mm-hmm.
become.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think that was the beauty of it, and it was all natural. Like us 4 guys working together. Like I never met Doug before. I knew Christian in the dance world. I knew Daryl a little bit, and I knew just so it's just that it just worked.
Yeah.
And we gelled, and it just
Absolutely.
worked. And we never knew what the magnitude was going to be. Like you were saying, I was going to say a quick story. I remember I was at Whole Foods, and this is when the show was on, and this old white lady, she must have been about 75, 80. I'm not kidding. And I was doing my thing shopping. She said, "Excuse me, are you an actor?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I am." She said, "Do you play on Noah's Ark?" And I said, "Yes." I thought she was going to say something like, "What do you guys,
Yeah.
But she was like, me and my husband are such fans of yours.
Wow.
Like a minute later, her husband came, who was older than her, came around and she says, "Honey, look." And he was like, "Our boy, Roger, hey." No, he said, Alex. And I was like,
wow.
right then, and it was so a breath of amazement to me that a white couple of that age was so, they were just in that moment. And it was just, I really said, wow, the show really changed lives and people's opinions and all that. I had people, grown men, a lot of men, dads coming to me crying in tears, saying that our show really helped them understand their kid, whether if it was a daughter or a man or transgender or whatever was going on. They said that our show really helped them to sort of put things in perspective as far as their kid and that lifestyle,
Absolutely.
So those things like that, it means a lot. And that's why to this day, people still come up to me and say things like that. So
no, thank you. I mean, for your contribution to the culture. I mean, thank you so much.
Okay, so we gotta do the flowers thing.
Everybody.
Y'all know how we do it here.
Flood the comments with flowers for Rodney because I mean he absolutely deserves it. We gotta ask you this question because I have to know too. Did you come up with the choreography for the episode where everybody dressed and danced in drag? I mean, that was probably one of the most iconic episodes from the series. And you said yourself you were a dancer, so we got to know.
Well, actually, I had at the time, which throughout the whole process, I had a talent agency where I rep dancers, choreographers, models, and commercial actors. And the choreographer that choreographed that, his name is Frank Gatson, and he's Beyonce's artistic director and all that. Yeah,
and in Vogue, do not
in Vogue and all. He created, he created all them. So I want you to do drag because that'll be great or whatever. And it was kind of my idea to say, well, if everybody do it, I'll do it, kind of like that. But I was kind of joking. I didn't know what the storyline was going to be or whatever. But anyway, it worked out that way. But I asked Frank, and Patrick knew Frank as well, because Frank, I used to represent him as a client. And so what happened was we had to shoot all of the club scene in 3 days. Every club scene, we did all that. So that day that we did the drag, we shot all day as boys, and then we had a dinner break, and then we got in the drag and shot the drag all night.
Wow. That is incredible.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I mean, to know that Frank Gatson choreographed that.
He did.
That's probably why it was one of the most iconic scenes. I mean, it was incredible.
He was a huge supporter of the show. Yeah.
I mean, this is it's so interesting to hear these stories from when you were all legends in the making, right?
Yeah.
And you're all now legends and icons of the culture. And to hear kind of that y'all were all just grinding,
Listen, I think when we did the pilot before the show got picked up, I think we got like $100 or something, and it was very for the love of it all. I mean, we did hair and makeup in my truck. I mean, it was like no money. Like the makeup artist was in my truck, and that's where our air conditioner was. I had my car, which Patrick never gave me money for gas for that. But anyway.
I'm not
But anyway, but no, but
God, that's
I think it
hilarious.
was for the love of the show,
Yes.
and that's why I say this show, it meant a lot to us. It was that time, and it
Yes.
meant a lot to us. But those little stories, like those things, will never be forgotten because we literally
Yes.
got ready, hair and makeup in my truck,
Wow.
so we can have some air. Yeah,
That is
Wow.
it's crazy.
incredible.
It was
Incredible.
crazy. Yeah,
So you're a savage,
Right. A whole savage.
a whole
whole
savage.
savage.
I mean,
Okay.
that's the thing. That's the thing about you, Rodney. And it's not surprising, as I mentioned earlier when you said that Patrick wrote the character for you,
Mm-hmm.
because not only are you is Alex the character a savage, but you, Rodney Chester, are a savage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've worked hard in the entertainment business all my life, So
Yes.
basically, because I started taking dance when I was like 14, 13, 14.
Mm.
So, all of that, throughout my whole lifetime, and even in college, my parents didn't want to. My dad was like, "Well, I'm not going to pay all this money for you to go to school to graduate and dance." So you need to figure something
Wow.
out. So I actually I minored in theater arts, but my major was business management, and theater just happened to take over, my life and world and moving, around and dancing and performing.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
What is one piece of advice that you would give to a young dancer, actor, somebody who is, looking to enter the entertainment industry and, try to tell stories? What's the piece of advice
you
that you
know, you know, I I get people ask me this a lot. I mean, I think the motivation and the drive, as you would have with anything. But it's hard work. You have to be dedicated. And if a lot of people I know when I was dancing, when I moved to LA and was dancing and auditioning and dancing for artists and traveling, a lot of people couldn't handle LA. And I came from, a small town, and I just had a drive, and I knew that I wanted to do it. So when I moved here to LA, I didn't understand that the guys were dancing in jeans and combat boots. That was a big thing back then. And I was like, how the hell is, but what I did, I went and got me some combat boots and I started
Yes.
taking class in combat boots
Combat
so that I
boots.
can compete
With
with the other guys that were dancing and working. And I came from an era where, I was always that token black guy or whatever. And then to move here to see that it was so many, good looking black men that were dancing and that could dance.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a part of that. So I think just dedication and and just being in the moment and taking things serious, because I know a lot of people when I used to dance, they would leave LA and they would move back home, and I knew that that wasn't what I wanted to do, because I ended up in LA because I was on a cruise ship and we used to dock in San Pedro,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the dancers on the ship used to take class at Tremaine's, which was my mentor.
Wow.
So that's how I ended up moving to LA, because
wow.
he he said, Rodney, when you get off the ship, I'll put you on the scholarship. And that's how I was able to dance and
Woo! Wow.
audition and take class from a lot of big choreographers. And that's how, when I got in the game, that's how I started working.
Wow.
Talk
So
about ordered steps.
And community,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Talk about
yeah,
community coming together to make sure we all succeed.
And that's also
totally.
when you have people who see things in you and see potential in you and are willing to
Hmm.
invest in what they see to help you
Right.
grow. That's how we lift while we climb.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. No,
Exactly. And that's a part of the run of the game, basically. Again, being in the moment and being in the moment and knowing that this is what you want to do. Not saying that you're going to work all the time. I didn't get every job I auditioned for, but I
Mm-hmm.
knew that was, I never worked a regular job. I only
Mm-hmm.
worked dance work. I finished one job, I auditioned for another, and I continued working. I think I worked at the Gap for a week.
I can imagine.
And I was like, I can't do
oh
this.
my
I was just say I can
God.
imagine you had way too much part because
Oh my
I can
goodness.
imagine you had the cap. That's
The
too.
gap what
It's too.
child.
It's too
But you know what? I think what happened was I was living down the street when I first moved to LA in Glendale, and the Glendale Galleria was there, and I liked the Gap clothes, and I think I went in there, and the manager, saw me, and she was just like, "Hey, she started talking to me, and then she said you should come in for an interview." So that's how I kind of started. But then I worked for a week. I said, "Oh no, I can't do this."
This is not it.
Yeah, it's not it. So
somebody asked in the comments, because you're also a dancer, have you ever worked on a project with Jensen or Christian, who are also dancers?
No, actually, when I met Jensen, I saw him as a model, and then I think that I didn't start him off with doing that, but I led him into doing the whole modeling thing. I told him about things that was happening. Christian, I did not never dance with him, but we knew each other in the dance world.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it's like, I think I was in LA before Christian got here. But then I think through people and dancers and working in the industry, most of the working dancers knew each other.
Yeah.
So I think that was Christian in our relationship.
Gotcha.
So that's how I met him.
So we got to ask you, because you're wearing your own.
Of course. Of course.
I got to ask you this, because you mentioned that Patrick wrote the character for you. How much are you and Alex alike? Like, are y'all the same person?
You know what? People ask me that all the time, and I'm gonna be honest. I believe a lot of it is, of course, me, because he wrote the role for me, and Patrick, when he says, Rodney, people need to see your personality on TV. So I think, of course, I think in every character there's something in that character with you in some kind of ways. But I think, he saw something in me as far as my personality, and he said people has to see that. So of course I'm crazy and fun and like to cut up. I mean, at some points Alex was really over the top in a lot of stuff, and they wanted it like that. I think I'm a little bit less than that, but the character wanted to be big. So I think overall, I think so. That's my personality. That's who I am. He wrote the role for me.
Right.
I can't say that it wasn't me. I think what people was getting confused, because sometimes we would joke around and they would all say, Rodney, that is you. But I think what was happening was, what my point was, I didn't know, because Patrick never let us see playbacks, right? So I never knew what I was doing or what I was looking like or whatever. And I just remember Patrick and them saying, Rodney, we need more. Can you do more? And I used to feel like, oh my God, this is crazy. But I know on camera, you had to read bigger.
Yeah.
So that's what I think I always used to talk about. That's what I meant when I said some of those things were not me, but Patrick wanted bigger. And I said, okay, you want it bigger, I'll give it bigger. Yeah. So that's when I say that. But the character was written for me, so of course it was. I think it was me, my personality, who I am.
One of the things I'll say, as we have been fortunate over the last few months to get to know each other.
And be friends. You my new friend.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
What our dear sister Michelle Yvette said in the comments, that Rodney is sweet just like Alex, is absolutely true.
And keep it all the way 100.
Keep it all the way 100, all the way. And we are grateful and love you for it.
Yes.
We're so
I appreciate it.
And we're grateful. I got to shout out Patrick just for knowing that your personality, your light, needed to be seen by all of us. That needed to be seen by all of us.
It goes to show you that, when you have someone to support you, and I just looked at Patrick as my friend. I had no idea what it was going to be, like I said, this was bigger than any of us thought it would be, So for him to find that in me, it was great. It was great. It was a great thing.
Because you're a cultural savage yourself, but who are some cultural savages that have influenced you and inspired you throughout your journey that maybe we should add to the Savage collection?
I think growing up in the theater world, You know, like I always was a fan of Debbie Allen's and Alvin Ailey and you know, all those dancers and then the character actors and all that. I was always a fan of that, and I was able to, when Debbie Allen was doing the academy, she did them for 10 years straight. I think it was 10 years. I was able to dance, you know, with her and dance for her rather, and then and working with George Faison. You know, because when I did my one man show in New York, we did it at his theater, and I was always a fan of his because he was the original choreographer for The Wiz and all these different shows. So I mean, you know, a lot of it was in my theater background where I really looked up to, you know, a lot of people, a lot of dance people looked up. And actually, you had somebody on here that I really looked up to, and I don't even know if he knew.
Who?
Sean Cheeseman.
Oh,
Sean, last night,
last night was incredible.
It was a love fest in here last night with Sean Cheeseman for the amount of people. And we said this to him last night, and I'm sure you are similarly on your way to that same you're in that same place where there's so many people whose lives you've touched, just like he has influenced and inspired so many people who have not gotten the chance to tell him. Like you said, he probably doesn't even know.
Well, he doesn't. And when I did another guy, Sean Earl, he was the guy who I did Punks with. And I kind of, because he was like this video guy, like he did all the videos and the amazing dancer. He was even on Fame. But he was somebody that I admired growing up and being in the industry and seeing him and working with him, and then knowing Sean. I just always admired Sean's work and him as a dancer as well.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
Well, people in the comments, I want to make sure you return to New York after.
And they're showing love from the theater. Shout out to Miss Gail, veteran of the Savage Chat series, who is a veteran of Broadway as well.
Yes.
He was just saying that George was actually her first choreographer when she got
wow.
Well, she was in the original production of The Wiz.
Right.
Oh, okay. Wow.
She was Stephanie Mills' understudy in the original production of The Wiz.
Wow. Well, nice to meet you, baby. Because my first show that I saw was Dreamgirls, the tour. I remember I saw Sharon Brown do it, and I was a teenager, and I remember saying I could not believe so many beautiful Black singers and dancers was in this show. I was like, and that was by far my favorite show ever. So I followed those careers of all those people, and you know, even coming back to Cheryl Lee Ralph is a friend of mine. You know, like I know her, and I've done a lot of work with her as far as her organization and stuff. So yeah, it's good.
Shout out to Cheryl Lee Ralph.
But I want to come back to New York soon, hopefully.
Yes.
So we got to talk about what you're working on now and where people can find you now, because you just guest starred. I see Corey Knott is in the room.
Corey, hey Corey.
Corey's in the room.
Tell us about
Pieces. Oh, yep.
Okay. We're back. Sorry. Well, first I did a film called I did three short films. Long story short, the last one that I did, it was 90 Days with Nathan Hale, who you had on, who is a very good. Shout out to Nathan, who just quickly I'll say, Nathan and I met on tour when we were on tour with Noah's Ark. He was on tour with his film that he was in. I can't think of the name of it, but he was on tour, and we were touring together. And in New Orleans, we bonded. So Nathan and I have been friends for years, and I love him. I love him for what he do, and he's an amazing, brilliant writer. So he actually wrote that character for me. And then I did it was called 90 Days, and then I did another film, and then I just recently did As I Am, where I played a dad to a son that was gay. I don't know. Do you guys get a chance to see it? I have to send you clips from it, but it was a amazing film. And then my recent thing is it's called and then my recent one is it's Pieces with Corey Knott.
Yes.
So I guest starred playing interior. I had my own fashion house, and I was the brother of one of the main characters. So, which also I called Corey and asked him if I can announce this, but they're working on a spinoff for me for my own show. So
Oh,
we're going to be shooting that next
ooh,
year. Yeah, so I'm
Ooh,
excited about that.
exclusive.
exclusive.
Ow! I hope
That
they
is
get you in trouble with
awesome.
Corey.
Corey, wasn't our fault.
All right.
Wasn't my fault, Corey.
We love your exclusive over here,
Wow.
though. But
What
that
is
is
it?
Yeah,
awesome. We
No,
cannot
that is
yeah.
wait to
So
see it.
awesome.
I'm excited about that. And pieces you can find this
That's yes.
hdproductionsnetwork.com, and you can go on there and you can subscribe to see the show.
Yes.
It's on now. It's on now. It's called
Awesome.
And
Pieces
we
Season
will,
2.
I'm not going to give too much away, but Corey will be joining us very, very soon.
Oh, good.
Oh,
Corey, you know what Corey said to me? He said, Rodney, I didn't even think that I could get you, but he called me, and he's a Emmy nominated
yes.
director.
Shout out
Yes.
So
to Black Swords.
I followed him, and I said, you know what? I said this would be kind of cool. I got the script, liked it, and stuff, and I okayed it. He couldn't believe it, but
Mhm.
I did it because I believed in him. I believed in the writing, and he let me, be me and do the character justice. I tried to, at least.
Amen. Oh,
Awesome.
I'm sure.
I'm sure
Oh,
you
no, no.
slayed just like always.
As always.
It's
So
hysterical.
As
So
it's a
always.
great time in the show. Everybody, please make sure if you are from the Blairisms family that you are
Please make
following
sure
our
our
brother
brother,
Rodney.
please,
Everybody from
please.
Rodney
yeah,
family,
it's
make sure
Rodney.
you are
Oh,
following
the
him.
other film is As I Am, and that's
Yes.
also on DVD on sale as well now.
Okay.
Awesome.
So
Which
yeah,
is it's a beautiful story. Anthony Bond, he was the director
yes,
of that.
Shout
veteran.
out to Anthony
Yes,
Bond, veteran
when
of
you
the
Yes,
series, that
when you
series.
said the name of it, I thought that's Anthony Bond's piece.
yes.
He is also a veteran
Veteran.
of this
Okay,
series. So
yeah.
Anthony has
So,
also been on.
isn't
Yes.
it amazing how we all connect like that?
Well,
Yep.
this is
Good
our.
people find each
I
other.
always say the good
It's
people
crazy.
find each other. Yeah, God
Yeah,
is good.
and Anthony called me and offered me the role, and it was something that I had never done. I played a dad, and it meant a lot because I was in an interracial couple, and we
Mhm.
adopted a son that he didn't know where he was going and what he wanted to do and how he
Mhm.
so we were kind of his guide in that whole thing. So
Mhm.
it was a great story. So check that
Awesome.
out too.
We will,
Absolutely.
folks,
Absolutely.
and when for people who have come in late, um,
The whole
the
interview.
whole chat will be saved and uploaded to our wall when we're done. Um, Rodney,
I think my brother Marcus is in here.
Hey,
My brother
fam.
Marcus. I
What's up?
think he
What's
said he
up?
watching Marcus and Julio. Hey guys, I think
hey,
they're watching.
well,
But yeah,
so Rodney, I want you to tell as much of what you got coming next as you want to.
yeah. Well, the next thing. I mean, obviously it's holidays coming up, and I'm gonna go to Florida to visit my family for the holidays. But after that, Corey said that we were gonna, he's gonna have a vacation, and then we're gonna
Y'all gonna get
start,
started.
All right.
start
That's
working. I
exciting.
think probably April, maybe in April or something like that. But I'm very excited about it. So
Good.
Mm.
I'm working with my manager, who
I was about to say shout out to Uncle Richard.
to Uncle Richard Pelzer, who is
Yes.
fantastic. I have known Richard forever, and he's always been on my side and
Yes.
helped me throughout my whole career. So I
Yes.
appreciate him,
Yes.
and so we're moving into, well, I'm just going to say this, but they're working on a production company type deal, so hopefully that will come through, and we'll be working on a lot of projects together.
Awesome.
So we're
Yes.
hoping.
I'm praying.
Listen, you know what? You got it. Sometimes you say you don't say anything, or why say this, but you have to speak things in
Come
existence.
on, Rodney. Talk about it.
Do
Talk
you get
about it.
it? You
Talk
get
about
it?
it. That's right.
So my whole thing is, hey, speak it into existence,
That's
and
right.
hopefully everything works out.
That's
And
right.
so we'll be looking forward to it, and I'll be working with you guys too.
Yes.
Ow!
Woo!
So we'll pick, because all you guys stuff, your website and all the stuff that you guys do, amazing,
Well,
Yes.
we are
amazing.
so excited
We
to
are
have the
excited,
opportunity to work with
honored,
you.
blessed that God
Yes.
has kind of ordered all of our steps to collide at this time in history, and we are excited for the work that we will do together.
I'm very, very excited, and it was something I was going to say as far as working. Anyway, I lost my train of thought, but it was something regarding the production company and working and us all trying to make it happen. But it's all in the future, in the works. Hopefully, everything works out and we make it
Everything
happen.
will be
as it should.
Yeah.
That's
everything
what
will be
family's
as
supposed.
it
That's
should.
exactly as family does, right? We got to ask you, with all that you've done so far and all that you still have left to do.
I mean, you're already a legend.
Right, already a legend.
And I want to do
Thank
this
you.
again. I want to make sure that the folks who just came in get the chance to give Rodney his flowers. While we ask Rodney this last question.
I wanted to plug something too right quick. I'm gonna have a website coming out. We're working on that now, where I'm gonna have my own products, T-shirts and different things like that. So you guys look out for that. I'm gonna post something on that and make that happen. I want to shout out to Malcolm Green, who is a very, very big supporter in my career and in my life. So I want to shout him out. If he's on, hey Malcolm.
Shout out to Malcolm Green.
Shout out to Malcolm.
Yes.
He is.
Is he in? Oh, he is.
Yeah, what's up, Malcolm?
So shout out to Malcolm. That goes back to having someone in your corner that believe in you, that want to see you succeed, and he's a big part of that. So I appreciate him.
Yeah, and that's what we all need. We all need.
We all need that.
We gotta lift while we climb.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
We gotta lift.
Exactly.
We gotta lift while we climb.
I believe that.
Folks, let's give Rodney his flowers while Bay asks him the last questions.
Yes. So, Rodney, with all that you have done, what do you see as the legacy of Rodney Chester?
The legacy for me, I've always wanted to be known as, a good person that meant something in the community, that did great work. I'm not perfect, but and who knows with Noah's Ark and what they're doing with it or whatever, but I know to always being a part of the first of something. Yes. Which people, as you guys say, a legend or whatever, when you're always a part of the first, that always makes you understand your work and your wealth and who you are, as a person. So, if people can remember me for that and things like that, and I know for a fact that when I did have my agency, I helped a lot of people in their careers, a lot. So that was my thing. So it was a blessing across the board.
Absolutely. Well, on behalf of
all of the folks whose lives you have touched that will never get this blessing. I mean, I gotta tell you, Rodney, like I said when we started this chat tonight,
right? Having
folks like you who are the culture in so many ways. You are the culture.
Right.
This is what we started this to do, and we are so thankful that God gave us the permission and trusted us with the assignment to sit down with folks who have done so much to elevate and inspire and love and grow so many people and so much community by everything that you've touched.
I mean, you're right. I mean, by Noah's Ark being the first, it always was amazing to me to see so many shows come up behind ours.
Yep.
That that they wanted to tell their stories, and I think we opened the door, in all honesty, for a lot of that. So and I think with Corey tells amazing stories. So Noah's Ark, I think, opened the door for all of that.
Right.
So
well,
it's good.
This is what we talk about how greatness gives other greatness permission to be great.
Right. Exactly.
When you shine, you allow others to shine. And so
of course.
Exactly. Just thank you so much on behalf of the culture,
on behalf of the whole
culture, all of the Black gay boys who will never get to tell you, all of the folks who you've inspired through your stories, through your audacity. Just thank you. Thank you.
I appreciate it,
Rodney.
I appreciate it.
Pictures.
Oh, we gotta take a picture.
Yes.
This melanin you got popping, sir.
Right?
Let's clear. Oh, wait,
Come on,
no,
melanin.
let's mug.
All right.
Right.
We love
Why
you.
you all in my mug?
Hello.
Why are you all in
That's
my?
my-
Is it tea? Is it some
that's-
tea?
It's the tea in that.
It's some
That's
tea?
my T-shirt. Don't look at you drinking out of your mug. You know what? Let me tell you something. I love all the stuff that you got. All that. I got my mug. Amazing.
Thank
You guys make sure you check out your website. Your website is
Yeah,
great.
Make
Your
sure,
stuff is great.
everybody, just make sure you're following us too. Rodney, we adore you. We are so
Thank
grateful
you.
for
I appreciate it.
your journey. We're grateful for your light, and we are now blessed and so grateful for your friendship, and even more blessed and grateful that you are trusting us to partner with you and work with you and your brand. We are ecstatic, excited, and overjoyed. Overjoyed.
Well, I do.
Yes.
I appreciate you guys. I'm excited.
Yeah,
Yes.
we are too.
And one day, and where are you guys located?
Oh, we're in
the
Maryland.
We're in the DMV area.
You're in Maryland. Okay.
we're in the
Yeah,
DMV.
we have to figure out something to work to meet somewhere and meet
Oh, yeah.
when this
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
pandemic slows down or whatever, you
Yes.
know.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
we can finally meet.
We will all be getting together.
Oh yeah, wait till
Yes.
it's gonna be a whole Savage Chat party once this is all over.
Oh, we're gonna have a whole
Absolutely.
thing.
Right. What do you want to leave with the people?
I just want to leave, hey, be safe, I will say, things worked out in the election.
Hey.
Happy about that. Happy about that, and it's this world that we live in, it's tough. We just have to try to maintain and hopefully Trump will do the right thing and make the transition smooth.
Get the fuck out of there. Right.
But hey, I mean, I just say be careful out there, be safe. This Corona thing is serious, and just take it serious and maintain what you have.
That's real. That's real. Thank you, Rodney.
Thank you,
so
Rodney.
much.
We love
everybody.
you.
Thank
make
you.
Sure you check out Rodney in Pieces on HP Productions Network.
Check out
TV.
All I Am.
Check out As I Am.
As I Am.
Check out Noah's Ark. They are still streaming on, I believe, Hulu.
Amazon
Prime. And 90 days. I'm not sure. 90 days. In 90 days. Yeah.
90 days.
Great project.
Hell. Rodney, we love you. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
A whole blessing. Thank y'all for joining us and just loving on Rodney.
Yes.
We will see y'all.
You deserve all the flowers.
All the flowers.
All the flowers.
Am I getting a bunch of flowers?
You got
you got
flowers. Hold on. We gonna screenshot some of these.
You better screenshot them.
No, screenshot those flowers. Somebody screenshot those flowers and send to us.
So what exactly is that? The flowers are just people loving the
love.
That's all.
Just love. That's great.
Yeah,
I see the heart.
Why you can still get them?
Your flowers while you can still smell them.
Yeah,
that's what my grandmother say. Ain't no use y'all cutting up. You better give people flowers while they can still smell them.
Smell them. Get your flowers, Rodney. Get your flowers.
So thank you.
No, it was an accident.
Okay.
So Rodney, thank you so much.
Thank you,
everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great night. We'll be back tomorrow.
And I want to come back on the show once I launch my website and stuff.
Oh, yes. Done. You are always the door is wide open. If you want to come back tomorrow, you can. We love you.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Good night.
We'll see
y'all. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Y'all.
Bye.